located in the Central Valley of California. The Fresno Fire Department. Established in 1877, the Fresno Fire Department is one of the oldest departments in the United States, rich in history and tradition. We start the next 48 hours with Fresno Fire at the training center. Earlier in the series, you saw the crew from Engine 3 with other Fresno firefighters training with their new MSA SCBAs. Today, every rig from every station will be coming in, and their old Survivor Air SCBAs and air bottles will be removed and replaced with the new MSA Firehawk M7 Responder SCBAs and the new MSA 30-minute high-pressure bottles.
Out between which one we're going to do more central on.
First up, to get their new MSA SCBAs is Engine 5. Next up, it's Engine 3.
They decided they didn't want to hurt
Now, it's the crew from Truck 4. A quick change in the weather, and now it's time for the crew of Engine 9 to do their change out. We will soon join them at their station. We now join the crew at Station 9. Captain Karey Wedemeyer preps to bake a homemade cake for the shift, and it's her birthday.
My name is Carrie Wedemeyer. I'm a fire captain on Engine 9, I have been with the department for about 17 years and a captain for approximately 11 years. Applied down here, it happened to be with California's Fire Protection, CDF as we call it. And I came down here for a season, had never been to California, didn't know anyone, and I drove my little car down here and went through the fire academy with CDF. And it was more of a municipal department compared to what I was doing way up in the mountains. And I really liked the medical aid portion, and I really liked the physical demand, although it was completely different than what I was doing. So after I kind of caught that that's what I possibly might want to do, I went straight forward and did everything I needed to do to do it.
The captain sits in the office and logs information to the department's database.
One of the things we started doing is tracking homeless people, like incidents that have to do with the homeless, which is a huge problem here, because we need to show how much it's costing the city every time we respond. So we actually code it as a homeless issue. So that's hoping it will help. I think PD does the same thing.
A call comes in. It's an auto accident. Arrive on scene. It looks like this vehicle was T-boned. The captain approaches the other vehicle, where an officer is there with the driver. They place a C-spine collar on their patient and continue to package her up for transport. The driver of the other vehicle has refused any medical attention, so the captain returns to her crew. They work to carefully remove the woman from her damaged vehicle. The EMT and paramedic from American Ambulance transfer the patient to the ambulance for transport to the hospital.
Oh, 28-year-old female who was hit by a car. It looks like they hit her from the side, ran a red light, and then they took off for some reason. And somebody stopped them halfway down the block. They said they slid all the way. So it was kind of a hit and run. A lot of damage to their vehicle, so obviously they didn't want to talk with the police. So she's fully C-spine. She's suffering from head and neck pain, possibly some back injury. So she's fully C-spined and stable.
They return back to the station. A call comes in. It's a medical call. The patient is complaining of pain in their shoulder.
Coming in.
the crew is no longer needed.
I'm done. I'm spent.
I know. It's a good warm-up for you, Dustin.
I'm spent. Good workout.
What do we have? Walking.
Shoulder pain, he slept on it wrong. 911, code 3 all the way. So, that's our 911 system.
Back at the station, the captain only wanted one thing for her birthday, the crew to exercise with her. The captain puts an exercise program on the television. They all attempt to work out with her the way that she wants them to. Some do.
So, you know, like I had said earlier, you know, I had no idea about the fire service, really the municipal part of it. And when I heard about Fresno, that they required a Firefighter 1 certificate. So you had to go through a fire academy. So I had applied for the fire academy, which was 9 to 5 for 6 months, and just to get my Firefighter 1 to apply here. So that was a really big deal and a really big accomplishment. And the whole idea is that you want to get on with the city of Fresno. You know, you see them on the news every day, and I just really looked up, you know, like these guys are just it. I really, really prepared for it like I have never prepared for anything. Because I had failed another physical agility, I'd never taken one, so I had no idea what to expect. So I go to this physical agility in the Bay Area, something I could have blown away. But I didn't know the technical part of it, I didn't understand it. And thank goodness I did it because of that, of failing and then getting the chance at doing something I wanted to do so much. I think I worked 10 times harder to pass that physical agility.
Let's some lady called.
Start a truck. Yeah, the truck call.
She said the cat's behind the furnace and she can't reach it.
Oh, okay.
Stuck between the wall and furnace.
Gosh,
I love cats now.
A call comes in.
Woo! Good workout!
All right.
It's that one. Yeah, we're gonna park right in front.
It's a call to an apartment complex. Apparently, there is a cat that's stuck in a wall somewhere.
My name is James Perkins. I'm a firefighter with Fresno Fire, currently stationed at Station 9. I've been a firefighter here for 7.5 years. Well, why I became a firefighter is just as a kid, I really admired the fact that firefighters could come into a chaotic situation and instantly make the situation better, and they always seemed so cool doing it. And then I got into high school and decided to do a ROP program. Got to go to a firehouse for a couple hours a day, really see what goes on in fire station life, and I was hooked. I knew that's all I could see myself doing. From that time on, started taking classes, dedicating my life to becoming a firefighter.
They grab their axes, just in case they may need them to open up a wall.
Thank you.
They are directed to the apartment that called it in. This is right up there in the captain's wheelhouse. Captain Wedemeyer is a lover of animals. In fact, she is a principal of a pit bull rescue nonprofit here in Fresno.
Oh, that goes way down.
Does it have a...
This nice lady is concerned. She tried everything and nothing worked. So she called the fire department.
Probably 4 feet.
Okay, how about...
A kitten is definitely stuck somewhere. They can hear it crying for help.
Well, he got he's in the crawl space.
Oh, thank you.
They squeeze into the heater closet to see if they can see the kitten.
Great thing.
They are thinking about tearing at the sheetrock to get to the kitten. Firefighter James Perkins decides to go out to the stairwell to see what can be done. He then moves downstairs and finds a room with a crawl space that is below the kitten. This turned out to be the best idea. He slowly and gently is able to reach in and get the kitten.
Little tiny thing.
There's a board down there. I'll grab it.
What's that? Something fell?
Yeah, there was a board. It was like a piece of cargo.
It was her shelf. It was her shelf.
Yeah, there's one down there.
He brings the kitten upstairs to this nice lady's apartment.
It looked like a little boy though. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little boy. You little boy, huh? You little bad boy. What your mommy tell you? Not to leave home.
This very nice lady decides to keep the kitten. Another great save.
We had a cat stuck in kind of the wall, in a sense, behind a broiler. A little kitten, I don't know, a couple weeks old. It happens all the time. The mama cat will go up into the attics for shelter and to have babies, and then they fall through the walls. So generally we'll have to put a hole in the wall to get to the cat. But today, James scored and was able to crawl up through a vent somewhat and get the cat out, so he rescued the little kitty. Today, though, was a really good outcome because the woman actually wanted to keep the cat. So last time we got the cat to our rescue, it was a little kitten, but for the most part, they usually go to the SPCA and get euthanized. So today was kind of a good outcome for a change.
The happy crew returns to the station. And they return to their exercising for the captain.
Well, to stay in shape, I don't like to run, but I make myself do it just because it's one of the things I can do. I lift weights, but not as much as I like to run. Just trying to find something to stay interested in working out. Get bored with doing the same old thing over and over. So, sometimes as a crew, like on one instance on our captain's birthday, she requested that we all work out as a crew, and we had to watch a video workout, and all of us did it together as a crew, and it was interesting and fun. We made light of it, but we had a good time.
That's what happened to me.
Getting out, building fire for engine 3, 9, truck 4, battalion 2, zone 51566, Yosemite crossing Vorman, 1611, Yosemite Avenue, ported outbuilding.
Late night, a call comes in. It's a structure fire.
They're in a house. PD's on the scene, stating that palm tree is 20 feet, threatening lines, and power lines are down in the alley. PG is also being started multiple reports and has extended to a garage. All units on Yosemite Command, be advised, power lines are down in the rear, power lines down in the rear.
Battalion 2, can you go down when you arrive, can you give us some eyes on the alley? And I don't think we've got any exposures off that side, but just take a look.
This was called in as a tree fire, but the fire quickly moved to the garage.
That was, I believe, in the middle of the night. It was a home with a large detached garage in the back, so more of the balloon construction homes downtown. The detached garage was large. I think there was a really cool old car in there. There was a dark room, so a lot of chemicals. It had 3 layers of a roof on top. So even though it was just a detached garage, it was a lot of work to strip it. The first in officer, coincidentally, was my husband.
We go down the alleyway to access the fire, while Engine 9 goes to the front. Engine 3 was first in.
It's really hard to tell when something's that well involved. You have a lot of chemicals involved. I believe there was a water heater out there. There was electrical, and there were a lot of chemicals. So I'm always weary with chemicals and vapors and water heater flames. So it's likely that could have been the cause of it. The car didn't have a battery in it, so I don't believe it was because of the car. But it was also backed up to an alleyway in a really bad part of town. And we've had so much arson, and not just on vacant structures, just to be mean and just light things up. So because of the location, I think it was either arson or something from the vapors from the chemicals.
The flat roof of this garage, with its many layers of tar and gravel, must be left to vent itself. It is much too dangerous to climb on top and vent with chainsaws.
So we had a fire call. It was a detached garage, a large detached garage in the back of a house up against an alley. It's a pretty common situation in Fresno. Engine 3 was first in, and they pulled a couple of tack lines way down the side of the house. Truck 4 came in down the alley, and then Engine 9 came in from the front, and we assisted Engine 3 with fire attack.
Captain Karey Wedemeyer from Engine 9 and Captain Karey Wedemeyer from Engine 3 talked attack strategy.
We are not perfectly in harmony at home, but I believe at work we're very, I mean, he's my husband, but I really respect him at work, and we work really well together. We've always been on the same shifts, and we've always been at the same stations, so we have worked together a lot. I really respect his decisions. I've only known him as a fireman, so it's not a big deal. I wish it were. I mean, you know, maybe somebody might think it would be different, but I like working with him just because I like how he runs things and what he does. I trust him a lot. He's a good fireman.
The cutting of the metal garage door begins. The owner has said that he has a photography studio's film lab for developing photos and may have very dangerous liquids that may pose a threat to the firefighters in the rear of his garage. When Battalion Chief Simonius arrives on scene, he takes over the responsibility of command from Captain Karey Wedemeyer, who was the IC.
One truck 4 on our shifts, we've been with them a long time as well, are amazing. They're like what I was saying with truck guys. That's what truck guys should be right there. They're all very good at truck work. They stick with truck work. You can count on them 100%. I wouldn't even think twice about them. But here comes Oni. So Oni, Captain Durney, was working for Pete. And you know, just when you see him, you just have this just confidence with Oni, a warm confidence one. We've all fought so much fire with him. And one, he's so excited to be there. You know, the guy's, you know, what, 65 years old, and he's had his ass kicked so many times, and he's like, what do you need? He wouldn't even think twice, you know, about overhauling a house or salvaging something, and skill level, he's amazing. But another part about Oni too, he has 42 eyes, and he can be on a fire, and he's going to be talking about, he can be on the A division and say, now what do you know, on the C division, we need to think about this. He's just been doing it for so long, and he's seen so much, and it's a huge loss not to have him, you know. And another thing about Oni too, he's very honest about what's going on. If things are, shit is hitting the fan, it is, and let's deal with it. He's very blunt. You're going to talk about things, but he does it because he cares, and he does it because we want to do better. So, gosh, I wish I could have worked every last day with him.
Captain Durney, from Truck 4, cordons off the scene to keep it safe. Battalion Chief Simonius and Captain Durney keep an eye on the hot wires as they wait for PG&E to arrive. Inside the garage, we see a burnt-up, classic Volkswagen Carmagia that looks like it was showroom condition. It is a tragedy to any gearhead to see a beautiful car like this go up in flames.
It was being used as a garage slash a photo studio. So there was a car in there, a nice 1974 Carmen Ghia. Unfortunately, it didn't survive that well. But there was also a lot of chemicals with the photo equipment. So we had some concern with what was going on. There was a lot of structural damage to the roof components, and so we were kind of worried about partial roof collapse. You know, we tested it out and made sure it wasn't going to come down on us before we sent people in there. The truck couldn't really get up on the roof to cut because to ventilate because of the partial collapse, but we were able to be underneath it, and we could get in there and get some good overhaul. A lot of junk in there we had to get pulled out to find the seat of the fire.
Still hesitant to enter the structure, you will soon see that the roof is hanging very dangerously. They need to continue to keep water on the rubble as they have gained access to what was once a photographer's darkroom. More fire is found in the rear of the structure.
Are you being facetious? Hey, Carrie. As long as we feel like this thing ain't gonna go anywhere, why don't we let everybody go and get a bottle of water real quick? Hold on, we got a little fire back here. Yeah, pop that up there.
Captain Karey Wedemeyer is inside the garage with the hose, cooling down the debris. Captain Durney and one of the truckers discuss the upcoming overhaul. Captain Wedemeyer continues to plummet water on the beams. One of the firefighters takes the red line up the ladder to see if it will help. It won't. The roof is collapsing and unsafe to be on.
It's the same 3-wire silver color. It looks like.
The battalion chief chimes in on the electrical system. Captain Durney takes the line, possibly for the last time. He is soon to retire.
Stop by. We're just down the street anyways. Can you tell me what happened? Just like preliminary info so we don't have to later?
We got initially dispatched to a report of a tree fire. And
what kind of fire?
A tree on fire. And during the response, Engine 3, the call was upgraded to an outbuilding fire. Okay. And a typical response for an outbuilding fire is 2 engines in a truck.
Okay.
And they got there and they found a building that's probably 25 by 20. And with a single car in the garage, and it was fully involved when they arrived. Building's a total loss, car's a total loss. We haven't had any injuries, and the gentleman that owns the place was home, but he wasn't out there when the fire started.
Captain Wedemeyer wraps hose. Engine 9 returns to the station. Engine 9 is AOR.